And the Gencos are telling you, sorry, the discos are saying that the tariff regime is not cost reflective. So we cannot recoup the cost of what we put in to be able to, meet the needs of this category of people. So why are we still implementing this non-transparent tariff regime?
Okay, you've
Yes,
put a lot of
everything.
things
Yes.
together. Let's see how we can unpack estimated billing, corruption, inadequacy of the tariff,
Prepaid meters
and
as
then
well.
prepaid meter.
Yes.
4 critical issues that have plagued the power sector for a long time. When I mentioned the issue of policy inconsistency, one of the things I had in mind was this issue of metering. And those who follow the power sector will tell you that by 2013, when the privatization took off, we had this metering policy called CAPME, Credit Advance Payment Metering Implementation. Exactly. Now, that policy was a beautiful policy because it allowed customers to make an advance payment, and the system or the sector saw it as a loan for which the customer got some bit of interest. I think about 12% interest at that time, as at 2013, 2014. And so the customer gave the loan, and then the customer got repaid by way of credit over a period of time. Then that policy was phased out, I think, during the Fashola period, and then we came up with, what's the other one now? MAP, yes. MAP, for me, based on my own experience in the power sector, was one of the most beautiful policy instruments for metering of customers. I can't understand why that policy had to be shut down, reviewed, and then brought back again. I can't understand. So metering is a fundamental issue. It creates transparency. You are able to know what you are paying for and things like that. But you see, the issue of estimated billing is also a fundamental issue. Why is it fundamental? Once electricity is consumed, somebody has to pay for it. But where customers, and I join them in making that advocacy, where the problem is that, look, for God's sake,
I'm not getting the services.
That's one. And two, let it even be commensurate. And that was why NEC came up with the policy of capping of the estimated billing. That, okay, if you live in Papi, for instance, or you live in Yanya, or you live in Asokoro, or you live in Maitama, I mean, you are using Abuja geography. Yes. So let's say outside Abuja, you are living in the GRA or some high, exactly. There is a minimum threshold of consumption that can be used to aggregate the calculation for those exactly for those within that network. But that is not to say that estimated billing is the proper thing. It's not an exact science. It is still some kind of, I think this is what XYZ will consume in this locality. Because, for instance, somebody in Papi maybe living in a duplex, having about all the rooms, maybe 5-bedroom duplex, everywhere air conditioned and things like that. Meanwhile, somebody in Maitama BQ is not even having an air conditioner, but his own estimated billing is not the same as the person in in a Papi, for instance. So that makes it a little bit difficult, and it's not an exact science.
You can work with it.
Well,
depending when you prepaid meters are available.
See, the truth of the matter is that every customer is entitled, at the risk of calling it a fundamental right, every customer is entitled to a meter.
Yes, it is.
Every customer, because it is not only for the purpose of energy accountability. There's also transparency, and I need to be able to budget for my consumption monthly. Yeah. And then the issue of trust, for God's sake. So it creates it's still a mystery that, in spite of all the policy instruments that have been developed to bring about the solving of the metering problem, we are still where we are today. I think the next figure is that about 45% of customer population are unmetered. 45%. That's scandalous. We're not saying 5%, we're not saying 10%, we're saying 45%. I hope my figure is right. That's huge.
What could be the challenge? Why is that so?
Part of the challenge,
not available?
The gentleman in Kaduna, the meters are not available. Most of the things we use in the power sector are sourced offshore. When Miaja was speaking, dollar components drives a substantial part of the power sector. Even the loan, the acquisition loan for the sector was dollar denominated, and that in itself is a major issue till today. Since 2013, the dollar,
Yes.
I mean the acquisition fund for the assets is a major issue because it was denominated in dollar, and dollar has continued to be on the, I mean, on the escape route. As you pursue it, is running away. So
It's a bit stabilized now.
well, I hope so. The amount they got the asset at less than $300 to, I mean, less than 300 naira to $1. See where it is today, and some of these loans are still outstanding. Where are they going to get the money to?
But isn't government subsidizing part of what the consumers?
Government says I can no longer subsidize.
Okay, all right. Thank you.